Hey guys, what's up? It's Charlie here, and today we're going to be looking at 10 scary things seen in the sky. If you look up at the sky, you'll see a bunch of things. You'll see clouds, planes, birds, but sometimes there are some unexplained and scary things found in the sky. From real-life monsters to predictions of the future, let's check them out. But first, why not subscribe and press the notification bell too? Coming in at number 10 we have Canadian SWIRL. Canadian SWIRL sounds like some kind of ice cream flavor, but the reality is it's much more scary and unexplained. On the 22nd of May 2010, a photographer named Sean McCormick caught this photo. As you can see, there seems to be a swirling light above Western Canada. Sean wasn't the only person to catch this on camera, and many people took photos. In 2010, all of these images went viral as people were so confused. Many people on the ground also reported seeing this odd swirl. But what was this swirl? Well, here's where things get strange. Around the same time in Norway, a similar swirl had been reported. It was later found out that swirl was from a Russian missile launch. But it can't have been the same swirl, seeing as Norway and Canada are very far away from each other. But many said this swirl in Canada could have been from another missile launch. Some said it could have even been from the nearby Vandenberg Air Force Base. However, Vandenberg Air Force Base said they had nothing to do with it. So was this some kind of military experiment that they covered up? Or maybe it was a UFO or alien light? That's what some people said, but really we may never know the truth. Next up is US President. When Donald Trump won the presidency of the USA in 2016, it came as a shock to everyone. If you were looking at this photo 5 years ago, you'd assume it was an advert for a new reality show. But despite everyone's surprise, Trump is in the White House. Now, many people have said there were predictions about Trump winning. For example, an old Simpsons episode where Donald Trump becomes the president. Well, years before Donald Trump became president, something was seen in the sky. This happened in Gaffney, South Carolina, and appears to show President Trump in the sky. A man named AJ Brackens took the photos and posted it to Facebook. To make things even stranger, this actually happened on Trump's birthday. He was able to capture multiple angles of this weird cloud. And I have to say, this cloud really does resemble Trump. But was this a prediction of the future or just a very weird coincidence? Next up is Mothman. Ever since the 1920s, people have been reporting a monster known as Mothman. It's supposedly a winged, human-like creature that can fly, and sightings of it have been reported all the way from China to the USA. There have been many supposed images of Mothman caught on camera, but the most realistic one was taken on December 15th, 1966. The photographer took this in West Virginia, and it shows the Mothman on top of Silver Bridge. But on December 15th, 1967, exactly 1 year after the image was taken, the bridge collapsed. And it took many pedestrians and cars with it, claiming 46 lives. It's very strange how the Mothman was caught on camera here 1 year before this happened. Some say the Mothman was responsible for the collapse of Silver Bridge. In 2011, some say he was spotted near the Fukushima power plant days before it was destroyed. And there have been many more sightings of Mothman just before disaster strikes. Could Mothman be real and linked to all of these terrible things? Or is it just a load of coincidences and people making things up? Next up is the Oakville goo. It's no secret, sometimes things like hail and rain fall down from the sky. But what if you saw blobs of white goo falling from the sky? Well, that's exactly what the inhabitants of Oakville, Washington saw in 1994. In 1994, these gooey blobs began falling from the sky. Anyone who touched the blobs became very sick. Eventually, they were sent to a lab to be tested. The scientists found the blobs contained human white blood cells, but they couldn't say exactly what the blobs were. Right now, we still don't know what those blobs were or what the cause of them was. And scientists are baffled as to how they contained human DNA. Some said it could have simply been waste falling from a plane, but planes let that stuff out over oceans, not over towns. And if it was human waste, why would it be white and transparent? Others said it was likely a top secret military experiment. Perhaps they were dumping some alien goo or DNA. Really, we may never know, but it is one of the great mysteries of the world. Next up is the Italian smoke tube. If you saw a giant tunnel of smoke in the sky, you may assume a nuclear missile has just been sent over. Well, over a small town in Italy one day, that's exactly what the people saw. It cleared up after a few days and there was no official explanation given. But in an amazing coincidence, the Google Street car was driving around that Italian town that very same day. And as you can see on Google Street View, that smoke blob can be seen on Google. And as you can see from Google Street, that blob of smoke was caught on camera. Some say it might have been a strange cloud formation, but why was it grey on a sunny day. Some have said maybe this was a falling meteorite or a secret missile launch. It kind of looks like what happened after the SpaceX launch in California. So maybe this was part of Italy's secret missile program. Next up is Pope's Angel. In 2013, a new pope came to power. That was Pope Francis, and while he celebrated in Vatican City, so did many other people all around the world. But no one was more stunned than the residents of Miami, Florida. That is because in the sky was a cloud which looked remarkably like an angel. Seeing as this happened the same day Pope Francis was elected, many said it was a sign from God. Maybe God was showing his approval for the new pope. At first, some even said this was fake or photoshopped, but there were many witnesses and many images from all around Miami, Florida, so it was not faked. Do you think this could have been a real-life angel? Whether it is or not, it sure is a beautiful sight to see with that pink cloud. Next up is English Dragon. The UK is known for being very historical, and one of the most famous stories in the UK is the story of St. George. St. George famously slayed a massive dragon in England, and to this day everyone in England celebrates St. George's Day every year. But according to some, dragons are still around in England. In 2013, this very mysterious footage was caught in the UK. Many claimed this massive beast in the sky was a dragon. Others said this could have simply been faked, or maybe it was a different animal like a bird. To be honest, I'm not sure what this is or whether it's real. It does look like a work of science fiction, but you never know. Check out the video and leave a comment telling me if you think this is a real dragon or not.
Oh, man. What the
Next up is Swiss Angel. So, Miami, Florida was not the only place an angel has been caught on camera in the sky. And amazingly, much like the one in Italy, this was also caught on Google Street. In 2012, Google Street caught this amazing image over a lake in Switzerland. According to many, they say this is an angel or two angels. Some said this could have just been Google Maps' technology glitching out and showing an overlap of something. Others said maybe it was just a bird that Google Street caught on camera. But if you compare the figure to an angel, it does have some similarities. Many Catholics actually took this as evidence for angels being real. But whatever your beliefs are, what do you think about this image? Could it really be some kind of heavenly figure in Switzerland? Or is there a more boring explanation behind this photo? Next up is Tentacle Monster. So this one is very creepy and apparently shows one of the scariest monsters on Earth. This image first went viral when it was posted to Reddit in 2015. Immediately, many people commented on this image with their theories as to what it could be. Some said this had a massive resemblance to a creature known as Cthulhu. This is a creature which apparently looks like a massive octopus. Seeing as this sky monster does appear to have giant tentacles, maybe it could be Cthulhu. Legend has it simply looking at Cthulhu drives you insane. But I'm not sure if the guy who took this image has gone insane or not. Some said this image could be fake and others said it was a simple cloud formation. But do you think this is fake, a cloud formation, or the real life Cthulhu? Next up is Zambian Spirit. This image was caught in 2017 in Kitwe, Zambia, and the monster-looking thing in the sky was actually caught by two different people. One person was in the parking lot of a shopping mall and the other person was driving on the road. The giant monster is said to be around 350 feet in length, and local Zambian news said it was a sign of God. Many people in the street actually began worshipping the creature on their knees. Others panicked and ran for their lives, as this is very scary. But what do you think this sky monster could really be? Is it some kind of heavenly spirit or an evil monster? Personally, I have no idea, and I think it's amazing it was caught not once but twice by two different people. Check out the poll in the top right corner to vote for the scariest thing in the sky. I think it's Mothman, as that is so sinister and also very realistic looking. If you guys want more amazing videos, check out my second channel. There'll be a link to that on screen in a moment. But as always, thanks for watching. Check out some more videos on screen right now. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and if you haven't already, what are you waiting for? Subscribe to Top 10s.